East London.
This is Canning Town flyover. Just nearby, on Lanrick Road, is Leapfield Maritime Limited, where Derrick Johnson worked as financial director. Derrick was quite a workaholic and often stayed late at the office.
Hello?
Hello, Mark. It's Dad. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay, but it's due day tonight.
But whenever he did work late, he would always ring home to say goodnight to his young son.
Should you?
No, I suppose not, Dad.
Okay then. Look, I've got to go now. I'm working late tonight, so I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay, Dad. See ya.
Yeah, okay. No, no.
Night.
About 3 weeks before Derrick's death, one night in mid-October, there'd been an odd incident.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I've come to pick up the cleaners.
Well, you're on here. Go on, get out.
After that, Derrick had arranged for all the locks of the office block to be changed. It's now Tuesday, the 6th of November, the day Derrick died. It was a hectic day with a backlog of work to catch up on after his holiday.
As soon as I can, okay?
Fine.
Hello?
Hello, love. How are you?
Oh, fine. Are you busy?
Yeah, I'm up to my eyes. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stay late tonight.
Never mind, I thought you probably would. But don't forget to ring Mark later to say goodnight.
When do I ever forget it?
As usual, the cleaners arrived at about 5:30.
Oh, by the way, Steve popped in today. The name and address of his new restaurant.
Oh, great. That's the one he was telling us about.
Yeah.
Ah, let's get booked in.
A colleague, Christian Muto, popped in to say goodnight as he passed Derrick's office.
I left the office at a couple of minutes past 6 at the absolute latest and noticed a couple of boys standing over the road just by world-class imports. As I got across the road, looked out of the corner of my eye, they'd turned and were starting to follow. When I got up to the corner of Lanrick Road, again looked back, they were following me. When I walked on, down to the next kink, I looked back, they'd vanished. Whether they'd gone up onto the flyover, or whether they'd gone back to world-class imports, which was still open, or whether they just walked back to the flats or onto the industrial estate, I don't know.
All right.
Are you in tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Hi, Dan. All right.
And you too?
Derrick.
Don't worry, I'm going to be in for a while yet. So.
Okay. Right, man.
Cheers.
World-class Imports is directly opposite Derrick's company.
That night it was about 6:20 and we'd been staying behind simply because we were waiting for our driver to turn up. He'd gone to do a delivery down in Southend. I was looking up and down outside the windows from the showroom. I noticed there was a dark blue or a black car pull over and it slowed right down outside our window, and I thought, well, I hope that's not a late customer. I carried on looking to see where the car had got to. A couple of minutes later, I noticed it was coming back again, and it did come up there twice. It was about 7:20. I actually got in my car and got to the end of the road, and as I got round to the corner, I realised that same car was there, and it looked as if it was stationary, and I was, like, ready to overtake it. As I did so, the car suddenly just, like, slowly pulled away from me, so I was behind it.
Unfortunately, he didn't notice the registration number. But the car crossed Canning Town flyover, heading towards Essex.
You got another one after that.
While they were there, the cleaners remembered Derrick received 2 phone calls. At about 6:35, they heard him laughing and joking on the phone. Then, just 5 minutes later, the phone rang again. This time, the conversation was longer and more serious. The cleaners left the offices at about 7:10.
Good night, Derrick.
Good night.
Derrick was now the only person in the building. Concerned that Derrick hadn't made the usual goodnight phone call to his son, Mrs. Johnson tried a number of times to contact him. By about 20 to midnight, extremely worried by now, she decided to drive the 10 miles to his office.